Traditional Irish music is known today throughout the world. It is an oral tradition and its prolific nature has captured the attention of listeners everywhere. Although it is only in the past 2 decades that Irish music has gained such recognition on an international scale, its origins can be traced back to an almost 2000 years ago, when the Celts arrived in Ireland. They brought with them, among other skills and crafts, music. Having been established in Eastern Europe since 500 before Christ, the Celts were undoubtedly influenced by the music of the East, and, indeed, it is speculated that the Irish harp originated in Egypt. While traveling to Ireland, the Celts left their mark on the musical cultures of Spain and northern France, or Brittany, as well in Scotland and Wales. However, it is there in Ireland that the tradition has evolved the most. The harp is the best known of all the traditional Irish instruments and was most dominant from the 10th to the 17th centuries. The first written collection of Irish music appeared in 1762, containing 49 airs and published by Neil Brothers in Dublin. However, it was not until the Belfast Harp Festival of 1792 that the most significant notation of Irish music was made by Edward Bunting. The manuscripts survive to this day and are among the most important documents in the history of the tradition. Due to the Great Famine of the 1840s, 1 million people died, and there is no doubt that much of the tradition in the form of songs, stories and tune died with them. The subsequent wave of emigration of over 2 million people, which accompanied the famine, though a devastating factor in Irish life, did help to bring the music tradition further afield. Thousands of Irish people were spread across the world, from the USA to Australia. On leaving Ireland, the immigrants brought with them their songs and music, and a traditional Irish music network was quickly established in cities such as New York, Chicago, and Boston, where there was a concentrated Irish population. By the 1920s, recordings of a number of Irish musicians were being made in the USA. Most notably the fiddle players Michael Coleman, James Morrison, Paddy Killoran, and the Uilleann piper Patsy Tuhoy. When these recordings made their way back to Ireland, they had a dramatic effect on the tradition here. To the surprise of the listeners, piano accompaniment was given to the fiddle, and Uilleann pipes and the dance tune were played at a quickened pace. As a result of these recordings, musicians in Ireland also began to speed up the tempo of the tunes, as well as using the piano as an accompanying instrument, an idea previously unheard in the tradition. If we were to study how music is performed at the present time, we will notice some dramatic change, such as more attention to the tone and technique, material acquired from public performance as opposed to one specific region, an increase in the tempo of dance tune, a greater awareness of harmony, and the acceptance and popularity among traditional players of accompaniment instrument such as the Greek bouzouki. With one eye on the past and one on the future, traditional music knows no boundaries and will continue to reflect the nation's spirit from generations to come. Ireland has produced some of the greatest authors and writers in literature throughout the 19th century and the 20th century, as well as some incredible modern Irish authors. For example, William John Vanville, born in 1945, is best known for his dark humor and precise style, especially in the crime fiction novels that he writes under the pseudonym Benjamin Black. His most famous work, The Sea, is the journal of a retired art historian attempting to cope with the deaths of loved ones throughout his life. Aside from novels, Banville has also published various short stories and plays. Samuel Berkeley Beckett, along with James Joyce, is considered to be one of the most influential playwrights, poets, and novelists of the 20th century. His writing is known to express a bleak outlook on human life and culture, while incorporating gallows humor and black comedy. His notable works are Molloy and Waiting for Godot. James Joyce, born in 1882 and died in 1941, is considered to be one of the most influential writers of the early 20th century. He is best known as the Irish author of Ulysses, and is, according to Bracken, an incredible literary work that manages to incorporate a myriad of styles in such a way that creates the most original piece of writing ever produced. His notable works are Ulysses, A Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man, Finnegan's Wake, and Dubliners. Bram Stoker was a novelist and short story writer best known for his gothic thriller, Dracula. Dracula is amongst the best-selling books of all time, after the Bible, and had influenced over 1,000 vampire-based films throughout the world. His notable works are Dracula and The Duties of Clerks of Petty Sessions in Ireland. Oscar Wilde. His short stories, plays, and poems truly embody a rich and dramatic portrayal of the human condition. Wilde excelled in literature and arts all throughout his school life. His notable works are The Picture of Dorian Gray, The Importance of Being Earnest, poems, The Happy Prince and Other Tales, and A Woman of No Importance. Francis Bacon was an Irish figurative painter, whose unique expressionist style of painting, which emerged during the 1950s, featured pictures of people screaming or in pain, often portrayed inside bathrooms or cages. His tortured, nightmarish imagery projected a world of violent and shocking humanity. His talent as a modern expressionist artist blossomed alongside a shambolic personal life, marked by extreme sensuality, gambling, and alcoholism. Even so, he was one of the most famous figures in Irish painting and a unique figure in the history of Irish art. Paul Henry. His landscape painting depicts the terrain of the West Ireland, reduced to its key essentials of sky, bog, and turf. In his use of mass and color, he can be seen as the first Irish post-impressionist artist, recording the traditional way of life but in modern style. He is now regarded by many critics as one of the most influential Irish landscape artists of the 20th century, and an important painter in the history of Irish art. Ireland also has some important musicians, contemporary musicians, such as Thin Lizzy, a rock band, or U2, another rock band, Cranberries, the singer Van Morrison, Sinead O'Connor. All of them have a huge influence on the music nowadays. And Ireland also has very famous actors and actresses working in Hollywood, like Saoirse Ronan, Brendan Gleeson, Michael Fassbender, Ruth Negga, Colin Farrell, Liam Neeson, very famous for the Taken trilogy, Fionnuala Flanagan, Cillian Murphy, and Olivia Wilde, and Pierce Brosnan, very famous for the James Bond movies.